This is video 4 of Unit 13, and in this video all we're going to do is example problem 6. This is a tougher example problem using molarity. Remember that the equation, or the math, for this chapter is just this equation, molarity equals moles over liters. Let's think about this problem. We have 45 milliliters of 2.0 molar sodium chloride is mixed with 15 milliliters of 3.0 molar sodium chloride. What is the final concentration? What we're doing here is essentially we have two bottles and we just have a little bit left in each. 45 mils in this one, 15 in this one. We're going to mix them together. So we're going to put them together in a final bottle, and we're asking what is the molarity now of the final bottle. We know the molarity of this one. We know this is 2.0 molar. We know this is 3.0 molar. The question is, when we mix them together, what will be the final molarity? And this is important because very often with chemicals, you're mixing two chemicals, two liquid chemicals together, or two solutions, and you want to know what their final concentration is after the reaction is going or completed. So here's the idea. What we'll have to do is we'll have to use two molarity equations, one for each solution. We're going to first find moles. We're going to do moles from one, and then moles from the other, and then we'll add the two moles together. And then we'll add the 2 liters together and figure out the final molarity. So kind of go through it, try to make sense of it, and then we'll recap at the end. So first I want to know, well, how many moles of this solution do I have? To find moles for molarity, you would move the liters to the left, and you end up with moles equals liters times molarity. So in this case, my liters would be not 45, but divided by 1,000. So if I divide by 1,000, I move the decimal place 3 times to the left. I get myself 0.045 for my volume, and my molarity is 2.0. So my first moles is, go ahead and multiply this, should be 0.090 moles. This is my first moles. If I do the same thing for the next one, liters times molarity, which would be 15 divided by 1,000, I have to use liters, is 0.015 multiplied by 3.0. If you do this calculation, you get 0.045 moles. So here are the moles. Essentially what we're saying is my first bottle has this many moles in it, my second bottle has this many moles in it. Now I'm about to add the 2 bottles together, so I'll have to combine the moles, which makes sense. The moles get combined into here. So my new moles, my big moles, would be 0.090 plus 0.045. So if you do this calculation, you should get 0.0135. Let's double check that. 0.135 moles is my total. That's how many moles are in this bottle. Now, I'm not asking for how many moles are in the bottle. I'm asking for what the molarity of the bottle is. So now, to get molarity is moles over liters. We will have to divide my moles by the liters. Now, the question is, what liters? What's going to be the liters? Well, I'm adding the liters of this plus the liters of this. So it's going to be my total liters. So my liters here will actually be 45 plus 15, which is 60 milliliters, or if you convert from milliliters to liters, this would be 0.060 liters. And these are the two numbers I will divide. So finally, to get my molarity, I will do 0.135 over 0.060. I know it's getting in the way here. And let's see what my final answer is. So 0.135 over 0.060 gives me 2.25 molar. And this is my final answer, 2.25 molar. And really, since we have two significant figures, I should really say 2.3 molar. Should be the better answer, 2.3 molar. So what we did is we figured that each bottle has some moles. We added those moles together. Each bottle has some liters. We added those liters together. We put the total moles over the total liters. So really, this was just moles over liters again. We just did it 3 times. So we used the equation, the molarity equation, 3 times. If this is a confusing problem, don't worry too much about it. This will be featured more on a bonus type or an extra credit type problem. But I thought you would benefit from seeing it. So this completes lesson 4 of Unit 13.